Everybody, Jeff, your executive gardener. Thanks for joining me for another episode. So if you live in South Texas like I do, we had downpours of rain last night. And most gardeners will tell you rain's a good thing. It is a good thing, except when you get 5 inches in 30 minutes. It's not a bad thing. So all of this area where I'm sitting right now was buried by about 2 inches of water. Then to pan out to the pool was overflowing over the deck. And that's what happens when you live in tropical areas like Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Texas. We get about 62 inches of rain a year. It's not that it rains any more than maybe Pittsburgh, which it always rains in Pittsburgh, but you get a little bit of rain. We get a lot of rain, and it comes down in buckets. So my point is, rain's good to a certain extent, but can also kill a plant, especially a plant that is in a container like this one. So there's a few things I want to talk about today if you grow in containers that are really important after you get a downpour of rain. I'm with my gardening companion here, Nala. She's very interested, by the way. So the first thing I want to talk about is that when you do a garden, a plant in a container, you need to make sure that there's holes at the bottom. Okay, that is the only way the water is going to get out. Otherwise, it will drown your roots. Your roots will die. Secondly, when it's been out and this thing was out in the rain, you still see it's doing pretty good. I'm going to take it in. We're expecting more. I'm going to take it under cover for the next 2 days. It's gotten enough rain, 5 inches in a half hour, 40 minutes, that it doesn't need any more. The roots need to dry, so that's what I'm going to do. That's the second thing. Third is a real problem, which is that all of the nutrients that you saw from my previous video, go 4 or 5 videos ago, you'll see that I put nutrients in this plant, and what happens is with that much rain, it just flushes the nutrients out. So likely the nutrients, the nitrogen, the phosphorus, the calcium, the magnesium, everything that's in this thing has been drained out the holes at the bottom. So what you're going to need to do is reapply. So I'm going to put some Osmocote, which is a timed release, on the top here. So when it gets watered or rained on again, it'll be refertilized. And then secondly, here's a water-based fertilizer, organic fertilizer called Jack's Tomato Feed, 12, 15, 30. But you got to re-add nutrients. I'm going to add magnesium, calcium, some tomato fertilizer, because most likely, again, it's been flushed. So we got to reapply right away. The fourth thing, I'm thinking about the fourth thing right now, you need to make sure that you clear all of the, and this is mulch, but anything that's touching the soil, get rid of those leaves, because when it rains, it splatters and the dirt gets up on your leaves and creates havoc. The fifth thing, which is a big problem here in Texas, if you'll take a look at this, are the following. When it rains, we get a ton of snails, and those are 2 snails right there. Those are 2 slugs you can see, both of them very much alive. They love to eat your leaves of any plant that you have. You got to get rid of them. Go to Home Depot, go to Garden Depot, and get some pellets to get rid of these things, because they reproduce very quickly and they'll tear up the leaves of your plant. So overall, again, I hope those 5 quick tips have helped you. If you're in a soil garden, you have to also be careful. Make sure you stake up your plant. So as a 6th thing and a final thing, you see there's a stake in here and there's a cage. When it rains here, the wind blows 20, 30 miles an hour. This stem could get snapped in a second. So after this recent rain, if you're in Texas, make sure you stake your plants. Otherwise, this thing goes on the dirt, it hits the dirt in the soil, all the leaves get disease on it, and your plant dies right away. So those are 5 or 6 tips which I think are extremely helpful for you to keep your plants safe if you live in an area that gets tremendous downpour. That's it for me. Thanks for joining the Executive Gardener channel. Until next time, bye for now.